Hello, I am back. I know it's election night, and I know y'all stuck to the TV seeing who won what state and all that stuff, but I'm coming back later this week to do the news. So I wanted to do this right now, just give you all an update on the things that I have going on. Really exciting stuff, really more exciting than the election, I think. Okay. But first, I have to tell you guys some of the things that I'm doing. Hi, NC worker. How are you doing? I got to tell you some of the things that I'm doing on Patreon. Okay, there's some really exciting stuff going on over there. So in my Cyber Minds group, okay, this is the kind of stuff that that's just getting started. So incident management training. I'm creating that. I've been tasked with creating that. So I am sharing how that's coming about. I started a Python project that I'm so excited about, okay? And I'm gonna talk a little bit about it tonight, but it's amazing. So I'm sharing a bunch of insights and stuff regarding that on my Patreon. I am with a team right now of 2 other people, am redesigning the Certified Authorization Professional exam. That's the CAP exam through ISC squared. Hi, Keep It Techie. How you doing? We are redesigning the CAP exam, okay? And I'm telling you, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome, okay? Because the ones right now can't hold a candle to anything already, okay? So anything we do is gonna be better than what's already out there. But, we're not gonna set the bar that low. We're gonna do some good stuff. Of course, cybersecurity policy, I am absolutely talking about on the Patreon. And we have a book club. I did a book club video tonight. We're reading The Power of Moments, okay? It's really good, all right? And whatever you're doing in cyber, IT, whatever, you gotta read this book. It's absolutely amazing, okay? So those are some of the projects that I have going on Patreon, as well as some other, really, really awesome stuff. So if you value your time and you don't want to have to start from scratch with all this stuff, then, come on over there and join me. The Python project. Let me tell you how this started. I had such an amazing insight yesterday. I was just effervescent with excitement. But let me tell you how it started. Okay. So I started out with the curriculum design. So I was doing stuff for the Certified Authorization Professional. I was looking up stuff for the CAP exam, seeing how I was going to put it together and, doing all the design work, right? And I came across a framework from the EU that's like the NICE framework, but theirs is better. I mean, I'm just being real. It's not bad. Well, I think it's better anyway, because it adds a lot of stuff regarding the GDPR and human rights and people having, possession of their own data and all that, which I love. But they do use the NICE in theirs too. Anyway, I'm looking at their stuff and I come across this article on memory corruption defenses. Memory corruption defenses. Now, y'all know I was on here. I had Keep It Techie on the screen. I had Professor Black Ops on the screen. I'm asking people because one of the things I've been really struggling with understanding is memory. And I mean understanding for myself, not just going to Google or the Security Plus stuff or whatever and reading a definition. I really want to know what that is. Okay, so I've been looking for ways to understand what it is. So I'm reading through, and I'm looking over here because the memory corruption stuff is over here. So I'm reading through this stuff, right? And it's saying things about, it started talking about pointers, okay? Pointers in programming. So I'm like, what's that, right? So I went and I looked that up and I saw that it was a C++ thing, right? Which then led me to Python. So I'm like, okay, I need to start my project anyway. And the way that I'm doing the project is I don't have a set course that I'm taking, okay? Now I have resources I can pull from, but I'm not gonna sit down and take, a Python course based on nothing, right? So my Python project is to look at all my data from Amazon, okay? I've been on Amazon since 2011, right? So the project I have is going to take all that data, you know, have me compile it and look at it and slice it and dice it and analyze and all that. And I'm going to do all that using Python. Okay. So that's the project, the initial project I'm going to use to learn it. And as I go through, like here, I'm like, I don't know what a pointer is, right? So I just go at that moment and look it up. Okay. So I'm looking that up, I'm reading about it, it leads me to Python stuff, and I get started in, you know, in all of those things. Now, with this, it got more and more into memory, right? And into where the code is read and written and executed. So I said, okay, here we go again. Tell me what the hell this is. So long story short, I finally found, and I forget which website it was, but somebody said, okay, an easy way for you to know the difference between a bit or to know what a bit is what it said, right? Is to compare a bit with a digit. Okay, so I'm like, all right. And then they went on to talk about the ones place, the tens place, and all that. So I'm like, whatever. But the way I did it, the way I understood it, right, is that bit and digit are words. Okay, now I'm gonna need y'all to stick with me. Okay, and we know that words, every single word you speak, is a symbol, right, for something else, right? Like the flag is a symbol for the United States. You can't go live on the flag, right? The flag represents the land, the sea, the water, and all that stuff. The same thing with a word, right? The word water, you can't drink the word water, right? The word water is a symbol. It represents something real, okay? So bit and digit are the same. Digit represents something real, as does bit. So I'm like, okay, what does digit represent? And it represents a concept in our minds, right? A digit is a concept. You can't put your hand on 5, okay? The five is a concept, okay? You can't put your hand on it. So I said, what about bit? Okay, what does that represent? That represents this, for instance, okay? I can put my hand on a bit, okay, which means a bit is physical. Memory is physical. I can touch it, right? It's an actual thing, okay? And, you know, it's just a whole, a shitload of bits, basically, okay? So, but that kind of fundamental understanding for me is that, you know, okay, so cyberspace, the space in cyber is a physical space, right? It's the memory that's created using, so, and it's made up of, so you have like, you know, your CD or your thumb drive or whatever. So something, right, with something on it that can, you know, hold those pulses, you know, the on and off shit and all that. So it's like a combination of 3 things is what memory actually is, right? But y'all have no idea how that was like a revelation for me, okay? Because I feel like if I can really understand memory, which is where everything happens in memory, okay? The hacking happens there, the security, you know, because nothing can occur in cyberspace without the damn space, okay, which is the memory, all right? So I'm just, you know, having that understanding is really useful. So I really feel like now as I move forward with my Python project and with actually, you know, doing things and executing commands and writing them, you know, and all that, that fundamental understanding of memory is going to be so useful. It really, really is. Now I have to delve more into, I have notes galore. I had to get a mural. Do y'all know what mural is? I love to draw. I can't just write and things. I need space. Okay. I need memory to be able to read, write, and draw and do shit. Okay. So So I got a tool, it's called Mural, and that's what it's like. It's like an enormous digital whiteboard, okay, where I just put shit up there and you know, just do the whole thing, and I absolutely love it. So I don't mind investing in that because it's really nice. So I had to get that. And if you're on my LinkedIn, you saw what I posted regarding what I put together for Python so far, okay? And it's very interesting. I mean, all the stuff I'm learning about Python is just really, really interesting. So there's that. There's my Python project. And I talked about memory, and I'm just still effervescent with excitement about, you know, what I discovered with that. Now, let's talk about this hacker rights thing. I'm not going to go too far into it because I said, before I declare I ain't going, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do more research on my own, because so far, what I've heard, you know, the primary person talking about it, I'm not convinced. Okay, I'm not. Okay, I'm not convinced. From what I understand, okay, from what I understand is there are advocates for people to hack into things without permission. And if they find something that they choose to disclose, you know, then they should be able to do that. So the argument is right now, okay, businesses are missing out because you have, I forget what the term is, but something like benevolent hackers or nice hackers or something like that, finding stuff in your system, but they're scared to come forward because they don't want to be prosecuted. Okay. And they're being prosecuted because of what? Because you in my shit without my permission. That's what I don't get is that initial, and she doesn't call them hacktivists. She doesn't call them that. She calls them something else. Because at first I'm like, she's talking about bug bounty. Like, that sounds like what she's talking about. But she's an advocate for it. She's like, this is a good thing. Like, we need to allow this to happen, right? I'm stuck on the idea of you just walking in my house, okay, and finding that my doorknob is shaky. It's my bathroom doorknob, it's a little shaky, okay? So then you don't want to come to me and tell me, hey, ma'am, your bathroom doorknob is shaky. You don't want to come and tell me that because you're afraid I'm gonna call the cops and be like, some ninja done walked his ass up in my house, okay? You're damn right I'm gonna call the cops. Like, so I feel like that's what she's talking about. Which is why I said before I go off, okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna listen to more videos, which I've been doing it this morning. I'm taking notes. I'm finding, I don't see a reference to first in the presentations. I don't see nothing, okay? So I'm gonna take it upon myself, okay, to extend a helping hand, all right? Because keep it techie, with the bug bounty program, which is an awesome program, okay? That's why I said I thought that's what she was talking about at first. And I'm like, this ain't new. Like, what? How is that hacker rights? That's not new. You know, it's bug bounty, but that's not what she's talking about, right? Yeah, so I got, you know, we got to do something about that first part. Okay, how are you? And there was a statistic that's been repeated in various presentations, and again, not supported by a reference. So I got to find this shit on my own. That 60% of friendly hackers, I think it's friendly, I think that's what she says, 60% of friendly hackers do not report the vulnerabilities they find for fear of being prosecuted. Now, my question is, who are they reporting to for somebody to say 60%? Okay. And I read a Wired article. There's a Wired article about what are those that legislation about no hacking. It's like, it's two main ones. I forget what the hell they are. But that Wired article was talking about that, and it was giving examples of individuals who had, without permission, gone into a company's networks and found things to repurpose. One of them was related to encryption. Somebody else did something with a video game, and hacked into something so that he was allowed to play games that were not authorized with just all, those kinds of things, right? Which, number one, what is you repurposing a game so that you can play games other than what I created? What does that have to do with my security as an organization? Okay. And this is why I say, and some of those other stories were like, okay, so, but what does that have to do? If I'm a security professional, okay, if I'm red team, blue, that's it, keep it techie. The Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, that's one of them. And there's another one, it's like the defense is like, I think there's a D in it or something, DMCA or something like that. But so my question, and this is where I have issues. Y'all know I have issues. Okay, I got issues. Okay, I got them. I have issues with teaching. I already have an issue with the term "think like a hacker." We already know that. But I have an issue with teaching hacking and stopping there. My question is, what is your end game? Okay, you're in Linux and you're learning how to escalate privilege. You're doing all the privilege escalation stuff, and you're doing okay, then what? Okay, is it on to the next hack? What's the end game? And I'm talking about security professionals. Why are you doing that? Okay, what's the next? Okay, now you broke it. You got in. What's the next step? It can't be, let's go break into the next thing. That can't be it. Not as a security professional, it can't. Okay, now if you something else, absolutely. All right. But I need to know what is the end game. And I think that's where we as security professionals and people who teach fall so short. Because we have people, very young individuals, who are learning how to do this stuff. We're not telling them what the end game is. All they know is, hey, I could get into some shit that other people don't know how to get into. That's a very powerful feeling. It's a very powerful feeling, okay? And at that age, with them being so young, okay, and even older people shit, forget about the babies, even the older people don't know how to act. When they get a little bit of power, when they get a little bit of an ability to do something that other people can't do, okay? We have to talk about what is the end game, okay? Because it can't be to break it. It can't be. That's my opinion, and that's the way that I'm designing the things that I'm designing within this cyber domain, okay? Because it makes no sense to me at all, that we're stopping at you being the best hacker you can be. I mean, it makes no sense. It doesn't. And furthermore, you're not going to be the best you can be if you chasing behind the person, another hacker, because you're thinking like a hacker, right? Okay, so you're not going to be the best you can be. You're going to be the best the criminal can be, is what you're going to do. All right. But I'm not going to go into that. Listen, I'm telling you, I told y'all, look, and one thing I don't do is pull my punches, okay? Because I see things, and I have, I have ideas about it, and I'm not just talking about it. I'm doing something about it, okay? And that's just what I do. That's just what Cheryl does. Okay. All right. So let me tell y'all. So I talked about my Python project and the memory. I have so many notes here. It's something else. So later, not tomorrow, but the next day, I'm going to come back with security in the black. I'm definitely going to do more. We're going to talk more about this. What the hell is it called again? That hacker shit, whatever the hell I called it. We're going to talk about that. And keep it techie. I saw you interview Professor Black Ops. I'm so sorry I was not able to be there, but that's gonna be in the news, absolutely. So I'm halfway through that one. I just came across your channel, Malik, the other day. I just passed my Security Plus a week ago, and now I'm on to CISA Plus, so they recommend your videos now. Hey, congratulations. Awesome, that's great. You're on to CISA Plus, that's great. All right. Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm so glad you're here. And I have several videos related to that. Oh, and I was in the CompTIA meeting about the new Security Plus. Chow, I thought they were going to tell us about, how they're writing the questions and, the way the PBQs are arranged, and all that stuff. It was a whole marketing thing. They're telling us about their new lab. I mean, the labs are nice. I ain't gonna, the labs are nice. But I thought we were gonna talk about something else, child. Yeah, so I'll probably do, before I do the news this week, I'll do a really short, because I took screenshots and stuff so y'all can see what some of those things are. But for the most part, you're still going to be studying, the way that you've studied. Okay. If you have time, to do more, then absolutely do more. But one distinction that they made was they have applied labs and they have the other labs that are more for teaching you. Okay. So like the really step-by-step, I don't know if you all have ever used practice labs. Okay. Which is really nice. But practice labs is, step by step. What do you okay, let's put this up here because I'm interested in hearing this. Keep it techie. What's up? What are your feelings about CompTIA? And to put you on blast with that one. Yeah. Is it about the certification itself or just like the company? You had a bad experience with Pearson VUE? Yeah. So I listened to, so part of the news also is going to be Black Cyber. He interviewed the head of the, fine. Did you see that they have financing now? I saw that. I did see that, so if you can't afford the exorbitant price, for the bundle, for people who want to do it and can't afford all of it at once, I guess it's okay, but I don't know. It's capitalism, right? That's what we're doing here. And the cyber mentor, he said, these people don't have your interests in mind. They really don't. They're businesses. You know what I'm saying? They're businesses. But the thing is, though, they're going to have to evolve some kind of way. Like they really will. They really, really will. Because and we are too, because somebody was saying tonight how I just wrote an article in my Patreon called Strive to Create Value, Not Make Money. Okay. And Malik, you said, yeah, so when I saw that I passed my exam, I got too hyped and fell out of my chair, which made me leave my camera view. So I promptly decided to revoke my exam. What? Are you okay? It got worked out. All right. That's good. Oh my goodness. I'm glad. I'm glad that got worked out. I'd have been pissed. Oh my goodness. Um, so strive to create more value, not make more money. Okay. Now, because and it only makes sense, right? Think of Bezos, right? He is not rich because he has a lot of money. He's rich because he created value. That has to come first. Unless you got a daddy Warbucks, who's just hoarding money for you, so you ain't got to do shit when you get, when you inherit. You got to create some value, if you want to get paid. And that's the same thing, because Keep It Techie, you asked that question of people about about jobs and artificial intelligence, and is it going to take over our jobs and all that, right? If you're not able to create value, it will. Okay, because you can't just be trying to make money, because guess what? Somebody's giving you that money. Some business or something is paying you. And do you think if they can't get a machine in there to do your work, so they don't have to pay you, that they're not going to do that? You can't just want to make money, okay? Because that's what, in the end of jobs, that's called silent risk, okay? That's like that turkey who's just plugging along for years and years and years until that one Wednesday comes, okay? Until that Wednesday comes and he finds out, oh shit, okay? Everything looks fine and dandy until Wednesday night, all right? So we can't, especially in this area, we cannot just be looking to make money. All right. You gotta be creating some kind of value. Okay. You have to. And there's a difference. Okay. There's a difference between creating value and just making money. All right. Because the money, some other ninja could take away because it's his or hers. All right. The value, that's yours. Okay. You're making that. You're creating that. That's yours. All right. So if you want to know about how I say to do that, go ahead over to my Patreon. Look, it's scrolling right across the screen right here. There you go. But yeah, so in this area, we can't do that. All right, because things move so fast, right? We have to be thinking creatively and all that. Forget about thinking outside a box. Forget a box. F a box. Okay, there's no room for a box over here. Okay, no room. So that's what I'm going to talk about later on this week when I come back with the news. Oh, I was saying Black Cyber, right? So the head of Empower Cybersecurity, she just started the nonprofit. It's called Empower Cybersecurity, and she just became a partner with Blacks in Cyber. Okay, and they're on Slack and stuff. So it's brand new, right? It's brand new. So and you don't have to be. I know for Blacks in Cyber, you can be in there and not be Black. Okay, that's just bringing attention to a need. But I think Empower Cybersecurity is for women, though. You may be able to get in there if you're a man. I don't know. You can try. But anyway, he was interviewing her, and listen to what she said. Okay, this woman is amazing. She is absolutely amazing. Let me tell you what she said. She's an instructor at a university, and she said she did it because she got her undergrad and her graduate. I think the undergrad was in information security, and the other one, no, I think it was 2 masters, and the other one was in cybersecurity. And she expected to see a difference. Okay, she was like, okay, information security was a whole bunch of theory and whatever. So cyber, I'll be, more hands-on. No, she was writing papers, reading books, and all that too. All right. So she was disappointed, and she said, I'm going to teach, and I'm not going to do this. Okay. Because she wasn't prepared. Right. And we hear that story so many times. She was not prepared for the real world. All right. Now, so she teaches. All right. And she said that they read the book, they read about, they read about Splunk, they read about firewalls, and they do all that. And when they come to class with her, that's when, okay, we did the reading. Okay, now let's do something with this, right? And she said she knows that what she's doing is working because of the questions they ask. The questions they ask are not questions so that they can remember or memorize concepts for a test, right? The questions are really involved. Okay, they're very critical type questions about work, you know, about processes, about, well, if the person is like this, you know, how am I able to implement in this way? It's all like that, right? So the interviewer, Black Cyber, asked her, he said, so how do you, how do you know that what you're doing is effective or something like that, he said. And she said, well, two of her students posted on LinkedIn that they passed the CISSP. And her student said, I want to thank her, you know, I want to thank my instructor for really helping me to, you know, do the things I needed to do to pass this exam. And she said, first of all, she said, I was really honored to hear that to know that in their perspective, they perceived me, you know, as being an enormous help to helping them get to their next step. She was like, that's the first thing. And then she said, plus, I don't teach CISSP. I teach critical thinking. That's what she said. Two of her students passed the CISSP. She teaches critical thinking, okay? Using, you know, IT and cyber as the medium, right? You could teach critical thinking using anything, art, construction, like it don't matter, right? The subject matter doesn't matter, right? Because you think critical thinking is critical thinking. You take that everywhere you go, everywhere, okay? When she said that, look, Malik, I was almost like you, falling out my chair. I love that, okay? I really, really do. I really do. Because I am an evangelist for real skills. Okay, and by that, real skills are also known as soft skills, okay? But they're real, right? What's the first thing people see when they interact with you? Okay, they don't see your Security Plus. They don't see that. They see your real skills. That's what they see, right? And that's what they build their perception of you on. Yeah, they'll look at your resume. You know, they'll see what you got in there and all that. And you may get the job, you know, based on what you have in your resume. But I promise you ain't gonna keep it if you have no real skills, all right? Or if you keep it, you ain't going nowhere. You're not progressing, right? Unless you have real skills, all right? Because that's how we interact with each other. Anyway, yeah. All right, so y'all go see who's gonna be the president tomorrow, okay? Hi, C. Burgess, how you doing? How are you? I hope y'all voted. Did y'all vote? I went to my place is just walking distance. It's at my kids' elementary school, and it's literally like right behind my door. It takes me like 3 minutes to get there. I just knew I was gonna be waiting in line for hours. I went right in there, you know, did my thing and walked right back out. It was nice. It was very nice. And I think it has to have been because all this early voting and stuff. I remember when Obama was, you know, getting elected. I mean, I was in line so long, it was crazy, but I wasn't going nowhere. And if I had to stand in line today, I would have done it, okay? I'm just glad I didn't have to. I'm glad I didn't have to. All right. So I'm gonna be back because my goal is by December 1 to have completed my Python project. And listen, I'm so interested in this. It's so interesting to me that I know I'm gonna be done way before then. Okay, way before then. As soon as I get off here, I'm gonna start doing some Python stuff. Okay, and then I'm coming back. And again, if you're not on my LinkedIn, please go ahead and get on that because I'll be talking about some stuff over there. Okay. I'm going to come back with, let me find the right word for this. What the hell did I call it? What did she call it again? Oh, hacker rights. That's what it is. I'm going to come back and we're going to talk about this idea of hacker rights. Okay. I 100% get human rights in cybersecurity because I talked about that before. Okay. Because we know that human rights are violated in the name of cybersecurity and for the lack of cybersecurity. In both of those instances, people's human rights are violated. Okay, but I'm gonna need help. Somebody gonna have to help me. Okay, with the hacker rights. Okay, I gotta understand, and I'm gonna try. I will absolutely try to understand. But and I said. I said, before I press play and make a video called Hacker Rights Exit Stage Left, I'm going to go ahead and do some research. So I already said it. Okay. I already said it. So I'm going to stay true to my word. All right. And when I come back with the news, all right, I'm going to let y'all know. I'm going to let y'all know what's up. Whether I'm going to move forward or I'm going to be like, you know what, she was right, right? Hacker rights is a thing, okay? Or I'm going to be talking about something else, child. What else I have here? Yeah, this is more Python stuff. Very interesting. All right, I'm going to get myself on up out of here. Y'all go see who's going to be president. And, you know, whoever it is, you know, it is what it is, I guess. So thank y'all so much for being here. Hey, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please do that. And if you care, whoever it is that you care about most in the world, go ahead and share this with them, okay? Wife had to have surgery. I need to get your email address again. Are you talking about me, C. Burgess? I could put it here if you're talking about me. I hope your wife is okay. Here's my email. And Malik, let me know about your CISA if you want any assistance with that. Because actually what I would like to do is for anyone here who's studying for CISA, I've already been doing things to make studying and understanding the concepts easier. Because I really feel like a lot of the stuff we study in these certifications, it doesn't have to be so difficult. It really doesn't. And I know it is for several reasons. Like it seems to be, you know, hard for several reasons, but it doesn't have to be. Okay, so I would love to have a study group, like a Zoom study session for everybody who's studying for the same thing. And I did this for, what's that initial certification for CompTIA? It's called, it's before A+. What is it called? Oh my goodness. It's like the basic one. Okay. The one that nobody really asked for. Hear my background next time. I can tell you right now, Malik. No, not A+. It's the one before that. It's the, not FRT. Why do I want to say FRT? It's the IFT. Is that it? IFT? ITF. Information Technology Fundamental. That's it. Keep it techie. Yeah. ITF. The IT Fundamentals. Yep. So I did a, because we have, you know, that nonprofit that I'm with that, you know, I created that curriculum for. They wanted the middle schoolers to get ITF certified. So I created some content, 4 sessions, right, to get them through studying for it and all that. And ITF is, so I bought the materials, right, so that I could create this thing. They got some stuff in there I didn't even know. I'm like, really? Look, I didn't know before I did the ITF stuff that Linux was a kernel. I didn't know that. And I believe it said that it's the Linux GNU, you know, together, Linux GNU together is the kernel, I think. Is that right? Keep it techie. But it mentioned there that Linux is a kernel, and I had never seen that before. Okay, I thought it was the OS. All right, so that was interesting, right? And it had a lot of other interesting stuff in there too that I didn't know. For Hacker Rights, check out Hacker Rights. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Chloe Mustagi. I've been looking at her videos. That's exactly who I've been talking about. Okay, I've seen several of them, and I'm still looking for a reference. But we're gonna get it together. Okay, we're gonna get it together. G. Lowry has all the information on his site for ITF and A+. G, is that how you say that? G? Let me write that down. Y'all are so resourceful. I tell you the truth. Glowry. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and look at that. Oh, and I mentioned too that I'm designing an incident management training for a service desk. Okay. So if y'all know, TG on YouTube. So if y'all know any good resources for that, that would be, I mean, I'm gonna look for some stuff too, but I'm looking for stuff different because people don't have time, especially the service desk. Okay. I was in a meeting with someone today. We were going over the metrics for the service level agreement. Okay. People were calling her in every direction while we were on the meeting. Anybody got time to go to no 1, 2, 3 hour training, from the service desk. Okay. So this thing has to be put together in a way that the learning can happen in the workflow. In the workflow. Ain't no such thing as, oh, I got to leave work to go to training. Nah, bump that. We ain't got time for that. Okay. I need them to be able to learn when they need it, like right there. Okay. So that's what I'm looking for with this incident management thing, right? We're not doing no workshops. Ain't nobody sitting in front of somebody, droning on for hours about, shit they don't care about. Okay. We're not doing that. You said you interviewed him. I'll look on your channel for your interview. I love your interviews. Keep it techie. I really do. I think you do such an amazing job. Don't change it. Okay. Don't change it. It's really good. So incident management, if you can think of anything, just let me know. And the other thing, I told you I'm doing the CAP. Okay. So I'm open to ideas about that. We're definitely not going to start the way it typically starts. Okay. Because that doesn't make sense. All right. It makes better sense starting a different way. Okay. So any ideas about that? I am super open to that. Okay. Oh, and let me tell you, so if you're talking about my background, like where I came from and all that. So so in November, oh, it'll be a year this month. What's today? So on the 8th of this month will be 1 year since I resigned from the federal government. Okay. I was in the federal government for 16 years in policy, right? So I wrote training policy for all the executive agencies. And I also did evaluation and, things like that, right? So November, this time last year, I turned in my resignation on November 8th, and I got my first interview for the position I'm in now, the cyber policy position. I interviewed for that in February of this year. Okay. That was a very fast track. Okay. Mostly because, I brought all them skills I had with me. I brought everything. Okay. I had 2 master's degrees under my belt. I had 4 children under my belt and 2 divorces under my belt. All that came over here. Okay. To cyber policy. All right. And other skills and stuff too. But, what I'm saying is it wasn't a big leap, because I already had the kinds of skills that you need, to be a successful policy writer and strategic thinker in cybersecurity. So it was just a matter of me learning the language and the acronyms, and understanding what the hell people were talking about, because y'all got so many acronyms, it's crazy. But every profession does, but I that's the curve I had to get around, right? I really had to learn this, which is why I tell people all the time, you are not starting from scratch. I don't care if you worked for Pornhub, okay? You are not starting from scratch. You got some kind of skills there, all right, that you can actually use on the job is what I'm talking about, okay? Some legitimate stuff that you could use, right? So a grocery store, if you worked in a daycare center, bring that. You're not starting from scratch, okay? So we gotta do that, okay? We gotta let people know that, right? They're not starting from scratch. So all right, I'm gonna get out of here. Y'all are awesome. You really are. And I'm gonna look up all these things that you gave me. So that's how I got here. Okay. If you want to hear more, Malik, then you can ask me, email me, whatever. And CYSA, hit me up so we can get something going for that. That would be useful for me and you. Okay. So y'all have an amazing night, and I'll be back here day after tomorrow with Security in the Black. Okay. Bye, y'all.